All right, August 26th of 2025. Today is a Tuesday. I just want to start off by saying this week has been such a love, hate, good, bad roller coaster of a week. It's insane. Like even like go back to Sunday. Sunday morning, right? Like, we work hard all week. I work 6 days a week, and Sunday I still work, but it's relatively like calm. Okay. Wake up on Sunday, first thing, check my email, 1 star review. Wake up on Monday, first thing, check my email, 5 star review from an amazing client. And it's like an essay just of her talking about how much she loves us, right? Next thing, Monday, we haven't this whole week. We're 2 days into the week and we haven't had a 4 figure or 5 figure day yet. We've only made, it's great, but we've only made $300 yesterday, $400 today. But that's terrible. But guess what? It's forced us to look internally, and we're truly solving every problem. And what I mean by that is we're working on our funnels. We're working on friction so we get the right leads. We're working on our setters so we convert more leads into appointments. We're working on our entire sales process, right? Everything. So it's terrible, but it's forcing us to get better. The one we made $455.87 today. It looks like the day's over. Another thing, right? We're having this slow week, but it was so far this month we're at $130,000 for the month. Normally we're making $40,000 a week. Made $800 this week. 455 plus 330, 700, $800 this week total, right? It's crazy. So such highs, the lows. It is what it is. The one thing I will say, and I would say you need to know this, and it's been my biggest realization the past 3-4 months, that data is everything. All right. You need either you or you need someone on your team that can track everything. And here's the cool thing: the more you track, the easier this whole game of business is going to get. And so, like, it's very simple for you to track your leads, appointments, sales, cash collected, all the basic stuff. But what if you go a layer deeper? And what I mean by that is, even with the setters, we're tracking the number of calls they make per day, the objections by objection type that each lead has. Hold on, because I'll tell you more. Let me just pull up my phone. We're tracking a lot. We're tracking number of dials every day, number of leads that pick up, number of actual conversations, number of interested leads, the number of leads that decline, and based on each reason, we have all the reasons. How many appointments are booked? Cash collected every single day. How many were rescheduled? How many were canceled? How many, everything. We're tracking all of it in between. We're even tracking speed to lead, answer rate on the leads. Do they pick up or not? We're tracking everything. I might have already said that. So, and here's the thing, because it started with understanding our appointments are low. Like, that's the lowest. Like, we need to solve the conversion for appointments right now. That's the number one problem, right? But then we went a layer deeper, and if we only saw appointments are low, it could have been anything. Like, it could have been the script. It could have been like anything. We went a layer deeper. We're getting one common objection that's amounting for 30 to 40%. Think about this. All the leads that come in, 100 leads come in a day, right? Off the bat, snap your fingers, 30 to 40% gone right away because of one objection. That caused us this week. We fixed it in the front end of the, what is it called? Front end of the sales funnel, so that this objection doesn't even come in, because we're disqualifying for it right away. And we're already seeing an uptick in appointments so far this week. It's only about 1.5 days in, but it's looking good. We'll see for the rest of the week. But I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So, like, there's so much to be mad about. There's so much to be happy about. I don't know how I feel. Obviously, we make $455 today. It doesn't, I would like more, you know, but it's the stuff like this that's making us better. I will say that. The next thing I want to say, I feel like I'm going to forget it, but the next thing I had to say, I said data. That was a humongous thing for us. Um, yeah, the next thing is breaking down terms. That was like another realization I had today, and this might sound dumb, but okay, this might sound dumb how I'm about to say it, but nothing means exactly what it means. All right, so let me explain. Uh, let's say you play sports, right? Whether it's soccer, football, or basketball. I used to play basketball. Y'all should check out my highlights. I used to be really good. I used to be top 25 in the state of Illinois. No bullshit. I got the data to back it up. Um, anyway, nothing means what it means. And what I mean by that is if you say someone's good at basketball, that's not a thing. You know, what is good at basketball? What they can be good at shooting, passing, dribbling, um, shooting it off the backboard, shooting it mid-range, free throws, etc. Right? Same thing with business. Someone's good at business. What does that mean? That means they're good at marketing, sales, product, and hiring. Right? That's what that means. Let's take it a step further, right? Right. We have an issue with, marketing or sales right now. We're not closing deals. Take it a step further. What does that mean, right? What do you mean you have an issue with marketing or sales? That means we're not generating leads. No, we're generating leads. We're not booking appointments. That was the issue, right? We're not generating sales. Take it a step further. What do you mean you're not generating appointments, right? That means that what? Are people not answering the phone? Oh, no, they are answering the phone. Okay, what does that mean? That they're answering the phone and then in the first 30 seconds you say something, they hang up? No, 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 no. The hook is fun. The first part of the script is good. Oh, so you get to the end of the call and there's an objection, right? Okay, and then you can take this so many steps further, but this is exactly what I mean. An expert, right? It's very easy for me to just get mad and say, fuck this. And I'm gonna be completely honest. If you run a business, hopefully you do, you should, because business, you're giving like business is the ultimate form of self-development. You should do it not only for yourself, you're helping people, you're making money, bettering your life, your family's life. But if you run a business, it's very stressful. It is. It's very stressful, and it's very stressful, and it's like eating glass, walking through fire every almost every day. Some days you get some sunshine and some rainbows, but if you run a business, I mean, just understand the difference between being an expert and being, regular person. Like every day, some days you look at a day like this, I just want to burn it all. I'm like, fuck this. This is bullshit. I get pissed for a little bit. I'm getting better at calming myself. But what you need to understand the difference between an expert and someone that's a novice, not that good, is they take things a layer deeper. I can easily look at this $450 to $5 a day and be like, man, this shit sucks. I hate this. I'm going to burn it, blah, blah. But take it a step deeper, why are we not doing what we want to do, And we understand right now our biggest problem is the conversion, specifically the conversion with appointments. And we got a full game plan to fix it. It's a 5-step process in total. We already completed one of these steps. And the next thing I'll say is if you have a team, which once you get some good capital, I recommend investing in a team. Specifically, you want to invest in the constraints of your business, like the biggest issues that you have, right? The hardest parts. If you have a sales problem, you want to invest in either resources and mentorship, like resources, education, mentorship to fix that, or invest in the person that's good at, like a sales rep that's good at closing to fix that problem for you, right? Um, but yeah, I think that's all I got, man. It was an interesting day. It was an interesting day. We've already fixed like 5-step process that we need. We've already completed one. The next thing I would like to say is that hire a team, and then all businesses to continue growing, you just need to defeat the next level of your constraint. And every time you defeat a constraint, the every time you defeat a constraint, another constraint arises, right? So let's say you're scaling the business, you'll get to one level, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K a month. Let's say you're stuck at 10, you get to 20. You're not going to get to 30 because you have a constraint. Or you unlock a constraint that takes you all the way up to 100. But then your growth, you're going to grow until you hit the next constraint. You and your team focus all of your resources on defeating that constraint. What are your resources? Your resources are time, energy, and money capital if you have it, if you have good margins and you can invest. All right. But that's the one thing I recommend. Once you identify the constraint and what's stopping you, whether it's not having enough leads, not having enough appointments, not having enough, sales, probably a closing issue, your product sucks, understand what the constraint is. It's fine. Like, I know it feels terrible. I like it literally, to me, it hurts, it burns. I hate it. It feels terrible. It sucks. Just calm down, think logically, and gather your team. You know what the constraint is. It's fine. Once you're aware, honestly, once you're aware, you're halfway there. Ooh, that rhymes. If it rhymes, it's right. So once you're aware, you're halfway there. You're aware, gather your team, and throw everything you have at defeating that constraint. And so what do I mean by that? In your business, it's very easy to get shiny object syndrome. I learned this. Shiny object syndrome is not just having one business, another business, and saying, "Oh, I want to do drop shipping. No, I'm going to do SMMA. No, I'm going to do e-commerce. I'm going to do TikTok shop." That's shiny object syndrome, sure, but it also happens inside the business. What do I mean by that? That means, hey, let's do YouTube ads. Okay, but why is that the constraint? Do we have enough leads? Yeah, we do. So why would we do YouTube ads? Let's do some other bullshit, right? Whatever. You just have this random idea that's within the business. That's still shiny object syndrome. You should only throw all of your resources at attacking the biggest constraint in the business. That's it. Yeah, besides that, that's it, man. I'm gonna go eat a burrito. It's my first meal of the day at 7:44 p.m. I'm starving. I'm gonna go to bed. All right. So y'all take care of yourself. Keep up on your journey. If you're on one, which I hope you are, you should always have some sort of goal that you're working towards, because life is meaningless without it. Business is the easiest way to apply some meaning to your life. Man, keep working. It's all right. Keep working on the same thing, because compound interest is real. And this shit, I'm going to leave y'all with this. I feel like I've been rambling, but this shit sucks. It feels terrible. But the truth is, even if you're making progress and it doesn't feel like it externally, the truth is that progress is showing, and it will show in a little bit of time. It's the small steps. Every single day you're tackling one thing. Every day you're tackling another. Small things that it doesn't feel like anything, it eventually shows. It does. That's just how it works. All right. So just keep going, keep working. Life feels shitty sometimes, almost all the time. But no, it's hard, but just keep going. See y'all.